As U.S. congressmen agree to give needy $1 billion to Israel, others are questioning the logic behind the record-breaking U.S. financial support at a time when Americans are struggling with an ailing economy. Why is Israel the priority for Americans? I'm Homa Lezgi, and this is News Analysis.
Members of the House Appropriations Committee sat down on Monday to approve a $608 billion U.S. military spending bill. The committee decided to earmark $947 million to Israel's missile programs. Tel Aviv will spend over two-thirds of the money on its short-range Iron Dome anti-missile system. The rest of the money will go to other short-range and long-range missile programs which are being developed jointly with the U.S. Israel is by far the largest recipient of U.S. foreign aid. Since 1949, the United States has provided Israel with a mix of economic and military aid worth over $100 billion. Government guidelines ban giving money to regimes that violate human rights. However, Israel enjoys its annual share of U.S. taxpayer money despite being accused of committing war crimes against the Palestinians by rights organizations such as Amnesty International.
The claim that these funds have anything to do with democracy or human rights is, of course, propaganda. These funds and this military preparation are for a war, for imperial domination, and for threatening the peoples of the region and of the world.
The cash gift to Israel has also provoked controversy at home at a time when millions of Americans are being forced to tighten their belts. The U.S. federal government's debt has reached nearly $16 trillion, prompting some politicians to describe the country as bankrupt. The unemployment rate stands at just over 8% as the economy sheds thousands of jobs every month. Washington's lavish expenditures such as easy loans to Israel have angered many Americans who believe charity has to begin at home and not in Tel Aviv.
What you say is one point, but the point that I want you to raise here is what the congressman means when he says that this military aid or funding to Israel is working for our nation's national security. How is national security of the Americans involved here?
It is not involved here. All we're talking about is Israel, security for Israel. But the congressmen in America have to pretend that the United States security interests are bound up with Israel's security interest, when in fact the exact opposite is the case. So it's preposterous to say this is in our interest. It's only in Israel's interest, but Israel controls the Congress. The congressman can't say that, so he has to say that it's in our interest instead.
And so this vast military aid that goes to Israel at a time of economic crisis in the United States, actually military aid this year with the $1 billion for the missile project will come to well over $4 billion, which is the admitted amount. It probably is considerably higher than that. And really, people should be outraged that this kind of spending is going on in order to further a military agenda, in order to further an agenda of empire, which is contrary to the interest of the great majority of people in the United States.
I think it is. I think that the situation is that the United States is a puppet of Israel. Now, that was more the case under George Bush, and it's changing now, but that is the fundamental fact.